Yeah, we might as well just roll. There you go. Nailed it. What's actually really funny is the first video we were like, I feel like there needs to be a symbol at the end. And then right in the intro of the second video, it was like we did the intro and I was like, I feel like there needs to be a symbol. And it just became a thing.
And now it's a symbol.
Now you got the symbol.
So I jotted a few notes just for things I like to.
Let me hear them because we got a whiteboard, folks. Give me some notes.
So.
Don't mind my handwriting. Don't mind my handwriting.
Yeah, no, we'll board it. Go ahead and board it. Have you ever heard of Josh Newman? He's the Rhinelander. He does the Cuts with Connection.
I have not.
Okay, so he was heavy into drugs.
Okay.
Went to prison.
Okay.
Got out of prison, put himself through the Nicolay cosmetology program.
Oh yeah, you shared his posts and stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And now he's sober.
Yeah.
And he goes to jails, does haircuts. He has his own place in Rhinelander. Well, he's actually the Muse salon in Rhinelander.
Okay. Yep.
He has a chair in there, so he does that, and then he goes to schools and institutions and does haircuts and shares his story about how.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I think he would be a good guest for our platform one day.
I do too. So, a lot of story there.
Yeah, so keep him on the leash.
And actually, this brings me to my next point because our first note is Josh, and you were just talking about Josh.
Yep.
I have a guest that's named Josh.
Shut up.
That I haven't talked about being on the show yet.
Okay.
I know that he's heard our shows, but
okay.
Josh Mackey,
okay.
Family Tradition Tattoo. And what's really cool about my friend Josh is not only has he tattooed almost my whole body, but he's got some really cool stories too. And there's this post on Facebook that I've shared before that it says like, I've got friends that are, entrepreneurs, felons, and whatever is like a couple things.
Yep.
Josh comments back, and you got a friend that's all of them, and it's Josh, and he's got a lot of cool stories. He went to prison. I'm sure he doesn't care that I say that because he's pretty open about it. And like it was years ago. He's kind of told me all those stories. He's just kind of like battle worn.
Yeah.
Kind of guy. And
he's done my wife's tattoos.
Yeah, and just a phenomenal artist.
Yeah.
So Josh, we're gonna have you on.
We're gonna double Josh.
Yeah.
So I think
two
absolutely.
Joshes. So any other notes we got to take right away?
Okay, so these are just some talking points.
Okay.
Beanbag chairs. Okay. I want to talk more about beanbag chairs. I think our little thing got cut out from our first, but beanbag chairs are important.
I agree.
Beanbag chairs are important. Another note I have here is biting your dog back. Do you bite your dog?
Biting dogs.
Or cats. I want to talk about what that looks like. Hey, did you grow up with dogs?
I did.
You did grow up with dogs.
Black
okay.
Lab, yep.
You had a black lab.
Yep.
When's the last time you lived with a dog? Like time frame?
Oh, it's been years, man.
Years? Okay.
Probably 5 years when I lived with my brother and my nephew dog.
Okay. So I want to talk about biting dogs back. I want to talk about Verizon.
Okay.
Because talk about one of the biggest scams out there. We might even just talk about that today.
Verizon. That says Verizon.
Verizon. You spelt it right. Very good.
All right. So let's just deep dive right away because as soon as you say beanbag chair, my mind automatically goes to Cheetos. I don't know why. Probably because of the Larry the Cable Guy skit about
sitting in a beanbag chair naked eating Cheetos.
Yeah, exactly. It just seems like a thing to do. But I know you've got a lot of we're supposed to look at the TV.
We can mix and match.
We have a TV here now, folks, so we're gonna try and look that way. I'm looking at Austin now, so we'll see if it works.
Yeah, we'll see what it looks like.
Beanbag chairs. I know you have a lot of opinions on a beanbag chair, so let's.
Well, so I don't know if we said this yet or not, but the most functional, versatile piece of furniture in the home. I mean, really, the home should just be all beanbag chairs.
I don't disagree. Like leather, suede,
yes,
all different flavors.
Yes, but dining room should just be beanbag chairs in a circle.
A little bit firmer.
Living room should be beanbag chairs in a line facing the TV.
Yeah, a little bit softer.
Bedroom, have a bed, but also needs a beanbag chair in the corner.
But like king size beanbag.
But a king size beanbag chair. Growing up, my cousins had a love sack. It was called. The name gets me because it's sexy, it's sexual, and it's the love sack. Basically, it's a massive beanbag chair. Like, massive. So really, I think all furniture in the houses should go out, and beanbag chairs should go in, and then some end tables.
Yeah.
But beanbag chair height.
Yeah, so the only thing firm you really need is the tables. The beanbag chairs, take the chairs out of the house.
Yep.
Take the love seats out of the house. Take the couch out of the house.
Yep.
Beanbag chairs.
All beanbag chairs.
I'm in. It seems practical, especially if you can find yourself a source where you can get different textures and firmnesses and even
right.
size of bags.
Right. So we're going to start an Airbnb. Okay. You don't know this yet, and I don't know this yet. I'm just finding out now.
Okay.
With you.
Yeah. Perfect. I'm here for it, man.
We're going to start an Airbnb called Beans. And people would be like, why is it called Beans?
AirBeansNBeans.
AirBeansNBeans. But we're going to do that. It's just all beanbag chairs.
Yeah.
Beanbag chairs and end tables.
Yep.
So, or coffee tables.
Yeah.
So beanbag chairs, coffee table for dining room.
Yeah.
Beanbag chairs, end tables, one for each person.
Yeah.
Living, all beanbag chairs.
I'm down.
No beds. F the beds.
Yeah.
I said beds with a beanbag chair in the corner. No. Out with the bed. A square is a weird thing to fucking sleep on anyway, and it takes up the room.
Yeah.
We just need a big circle beanbag chair. You have so much more room for activities.
Yeah. Exactly. Fit in the corner, kind of.
Yeah.
Is this our Airbnb? Is this going to be like just a normal layout house?
Yeah, I think so. I think if we do it, because
or is it like a space that's set up just for like bean bagging?
See, but that's what I'm saying.
Is it just like one big open room where you get the whole family and all your cousins and you just have a ton of beanbag chairs?
But that's what I'm saying. I think all houses are really
beanbag chair accessible.
Beanbag chair accessible. Like you don't, like when you go couch shopping, like you need measurements and you got, will this couch fit? Will this couch not fit?
Dude, to supplement the whole idea, we could start another business that's like, a play on interior design kind of thing, but it's like you just call us, we come in and we go in there and we go, yep, that's got to go, bring in the beanbag
Bring in
chairs.
the beanbag chair.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm serious. I think we're onto something.
I do too.
So we're going to do an Airbnb. We're not made of money, unfortunately, so it would have to be just a house probably in a couple of years. But get ready for it, folks, because it's going to be Bean, Air, and Bean. We got to think of the name.
AirBeansNBeans.
AirBeansNBeans. So we're going to do a beanbag chair. Everything's beanbag chairs. Outside in the lawn,
and
weatherproof beanbag chairs.
Oh.
It's just...
I'm just thinking already. Complimentary bags of Cheetos. Next,
Absolutely.
every end table has bags of Cheetos.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bags of Cheetos, and that's it.
And Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Kool-Aid jammers.
Kool-Aid jammers.
And then by then we'll be sponsored by the Quickery.
If we're not already, we should be.
Yeah. I mean, they have to have. I mean, we got 230 views on our first video. That somebody's had to have seen that.
Right. Somebody has.
But then the fridge will be stocked with Kool-Aid jammers and freaking pudding cups, Oreo pudding cups.
Oh.
And just pork and vegetable egg rolls.
Oreo pudding cup.
Just the way you said that in the first video.
You kind of said it right there. The way you said pudding cups.
Pudding. It's like elegant. It's elegant.
It is. So yeah, beanbag chair house. Yeah. No more bullshit in the house.
Yeah.
No more. I tell you this, I bumped into my last corner. No more stub toes on the corner of the bed. No more bumping your on the dining room table.
No.
If you bump you just fall into a beanbag chair.
Yeah.
That's the worst case scenario. Like, no more.
Dude, the worst case scenario is it's going to be like a fun little experience. Like
Yep.
you fell and it was comfy.
Right. And now we're just here.
Yeah.
And then you get a little hungry. No worries.
Yeah.
Cheetos.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to fall in the beanbag chair and a Cheeto's going to get stuck to your back or something.
Yeah. Because I have stubbed my last toe. I'm done stubbing toes. Square furnitures with hard angles out.
Yeah.
Beanbag chairs in.
It's the new round is the new modern.
Yeah. How do we get people to get into this?
And then a garage full of lazy river toys that
Absolutely.
that are bean bags.
Yep.
In a tube.
Yep. So half of it's floaty. We talked about this last time, I think. So half of the beanbag chair is floaty, or half of the tubes float. Top's beanbag material, so you can float and bean.
Floaty and comfy.
Floaty and comfy. There we go.
Complimentary Cheetos.
We'd need like a little Cheeto holster.
Yeah.
On the side that perfectly fits a bag of Cheetos.
Yeah.
The medium size.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, I'll large too, but I mean, like, the medium's fair.
Either way, they're single serving in my opinion.
Right.
Like, Cheetos stale fast.
If you crack the bag,
Yeah.
you're going.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what's the next on the agenda? Biting dogs. Okay, I want to hear about it. Cause like, I've always heard, I've never bit my dog back. I don't have a dog anymore. But like, I was always told that if a dog bites or something, to grab them behind the neck and pinch really hard, because you're just like showing dominance in that small scenario.
Yep. But
I'm guessing you're trying to show your dominance too by biting your dog.
Yeah, no. You're 100% right. That, because I watched Caesar Milan.
Yeah.
But he is right. It's when you pinch her by the neck, you're insinuating fangs.
Yeah.
Of another dog biting, because that is how they would dominate. They wouldn't penetrate the skin, but that is how they would show dominance. Like, I'm in charge.
Yeah.
You follow my rules if you want to come with us. But no, I'm talking about like if like, I bit my dog's cheek before.
Just for fun? Like, you just wanted to see what it tasted like?
Well, to see what they would do. Like, you know what I mean? To like see. I don't think that they realize.
So this was just like a fucking sick science experiment. Like,
but I've done it many times.
See what
like,
this is gonna do.
And please, someone out there, if you've bitten your dog also, like on the cheek, let me know. Like, the way my dog reacted. I've bitten every dog I've ever had, but I'm talking about the more recent one. The way it reacted, the way my dog reacted, was like it didn't know that my mouth was like its mouth.
Okay.
Because how the dog uses its mouth for everything, like, you know, to play and stuff
Yeah.
like that. When I bit my dog's cheek, his eyes just got real big, and he's like, "What just happened?"
Yeah, he was like, wow, that,
Yep.
like, kind of like, did you really just do that?
Yep. So yeah, that was.
I was thinking, like, in that one of the 4 agreements is you never assume anything. Great book, The 4 Agreements, if anybody's read that. I'm trying to get him to read it.
I'm not opposed.
Also, another thing, if anybody ever gives you a book as a gift, they're trying to tell you something, so you got to read it.
Yes.
And
yes.
so let's read that book, buddy.
Let's read that book.
So the 4 agreements is like an awesome thing to live by, and one of the agreements is you don't assume anything. But I was assuming that you were trying to show your dominance with your dog, but you were just playfully trying to see what it would do.
I was one of them. I with my dogs.
Yeah, you got it.
You know what I mean?
They're your buddies.
They're spoiled rotten.
Yeah.
They live an amazing life. They add joy to my life and my wife's life, and I'm gonna with them.
Yeah. That's what he does to me too. So. Means he likes you.
Let's go back to what you just said from that book.
Yeah.
Never assume, right?
Yeah.
I can't count on my hand. I don't have enough fingers to count the amount of times that I assumed something in a situation and got mad at somebody over it.
Yeah.
And
that's the agreement you make with yourself, is to not assume anything, because when you actually start implementing that into your life, you would be so surprised how little friction there is,
right,
when you don't assume things. And one of the other agreements is never take anything personally. So when you pair the two together, it's like nothing can bother you.
Yeah, that's a powerhouse move.
Yeah. So never assume anything. It's like in literally the smallest things. Like, it could be anything. Like, I'm not gonna assume. It's literally anything. Just get the answer.
Well, I'll just so like, if someone doesn't call me today, that usually calls me.
You're assuming they're blowing you off.
I'm assuming they're blowing me off, and I'm gonna get mad about it.
Yeah. But their dog could have died. Their wife could have died. They could be in the hospital. Their phone could have fell in the lake. Their tire could have been flat on their car. It's like,
but I assume shit all the time.
Yeah, and somebody driving slow in front of you. It's like, this guy's just being go back to Illinois, whatever. It's like, well, this could be their first time in their car since they had their newborn, and they're bringing it home.
Exactly. And that's funny you bring up the driving thing, because when I'm having my perfect day, meaning I am grateful for everything, I'm appreciating everything around me, I'm letting things happen as they're supposed to happen. When I get a slow driver in front of me, that just gives me more time to listen to a good song, or, say a prayer, or look at the trees, or look at the eagle on the side of the road, or
daydream about beanbag chairs.
Or daydream about beanbag chair houses, which is going to be a real thing soon. I'm telling you.
I can see it.
As soon as this podcast drops, someone's doing a beanbag chair house.
Yeah. And if you take our idea, just please have Cheetos there.
Yes. And if you take our idea, I'm going to in your beanbags.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're
We're going to be your first reservation. We'll let you know how it is.
Because that is our idea.
Yeah.
When did the beanbag come out?
That's a good question. Let's ask the audience. Actually, that'd be kind of fun. Let's shoot off the hip here. So we're gonna no Chat GPT in this crap. No Googling it. Comment your first gut reaction. When did the beanbag chair get invented? We will figure it out, and we will give a beanbag chair to the closest guess.
Yeah.
And no freaking cheating. No Chat GPT.
Yep.
No Google.
Yep. Just take a guess.
Just take a gander, man.
At when you think. So when you think the beanbag chair was invented.
Yeah.
Very good. I for sure know, just to give you guys all a hint, when I was a kid, I had like this, was it green or blue? Like a pleather blue one, probably about this big. So, and that was in the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely before the 90s.
Oh, yeah, dude. Beanbag chairs had to have been around a while, man. That's like,
I don't know.
It's like, I want to know what the story was like behind the beanbag chair, because there's a lot of things that have been invented over the course of history that were accidents. And I'm just really curious as to how this came about, because it does have a little bit of like a lazy twist on it. Like, it's like a lazy boy chair, but like, let's just make it even lazier, and let's just fill a bag with some soft stuff.
Well, let's just assume for a minute.
Okay.
And let's assume. So here's my backstory on it, and then I want to hear a backstory you come up with. So beanbag chairs. So I think the first beanbag chair was invented, and they were using them for early movie scenes when you didn't have all the all the CGI.
Okay.
So you'd actually have to do the stunts, and the beanbag chairs were like safety cushions for these people. Like when an explosion happened, they'd fall back on it.
And then they're like,
well, they kept losing the camera guy, and they're like, where the is the camera guy? Every time we stop to fix makeup or something, this dude's gone. They go in the back room. He's just laying in the crash dummy bags.
did you just come up with that?
I just made that up. That's how I think beanbag chairs were made.
Dude, that was so perfect that I'm thinking that might be actually how it was
No,
done.
it wasn't, but it sounds like, where the is the camera guy? He's just lounging back there, and he's like, dude, I quit my job. I don't want to film anymore. I'm taking one of these beanbag chairs home. What was it called at that time then? Like a crash bag.
Yeah, like an airbag, like a crash bag.
Crash bag. He took that home, and he made the beanbag chair.
Yeah. I would venture to say that's pretty close.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But now I need you to go way back. Now think like before movies, because there's a possibility beanbag chairs were invented way long ago, like before cameras and everything. Try to come up with a scenario.
So I think jelly beans, like, and I'm not sure for sure, but I would venture to guess that jelly beans are pretty old, or like a candy that was developed long ago.
Yeah,
You know, like
I
it's
feel
one
like
of the
that's right.
original candies, maybe.
Yeah,
Like you got these freaking sweet tarts, Twizzler, freaking things like that's all pretty new and stuff. But
right.
jelly beans been around forever.
Yeah,
So my assumption is they were in the beanbag factory, or the bean factory, the jelly bean factory.
The jelly bean
right?
factory.
And jelly beans are freaking zinging off the conveyor belt or whatever they had back then. And they're filling them in these bags because a bag is highly conformable.
Yep.
These jelly beans can just fill it.
Yep.
They were probably a pretty heavy duty bag, so they could,
Yep.
horse and buggy it up on a whatever.
Yep. Some sort of cloth bag.
Yeah.
Heavy duty. Yeah.
Yeah. And, so they're coming off this conveyor belt. They're going into this bag, big old bag, and bags are kind of piling up and takes a couple minutes to fill a bag. And Timmy is working the conveyor belt and like, you know what? This looks like a good spot to sit for a minute. And now we have the beanbag chair.
I like it. That sounds very plausible as well.
Yeah. Because
think how they would transport goods like back in the day. There wasn't like plastic really wasn't a thing.
No.
Like
I'm thinking like a burlap bag.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like and there was only 2 flavors. The one flavor that was no flavor, it was just jelly beans that like you had the texture, and then there was just black licorice jelly beans. Like there was nothing else.
Yeah. And while he's waiting for that next bag to fill, and then they stacked them like potato sacks up on the cart, and the cart hauls them away.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys are seeing. I want to touch on traveling a little bit.
Yeah.
Have you been out of the country?
I have. I've been to Mexico. I've been to Dominican Republic.
Like Punta Cana?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the name of the resort. So yeah, those 2 would be the farthest I've ever been out of country. What about you?
Punta Cana, Dominican Republic.
Okay.
For my brother's wedding, and then been to the Cayman Island, Grand Cayman, like 6 or 7 times. That's British West Indies, kind of the islands over there.
So when you show up, they know you. Oh, hey, Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the only place I show up and people know me.
6 or 7 times was just like a family tradition thing?
Yeah, we started doing that. Haven't been there for now years, but yeah, we did that it's kind of a family deal. And it's just a really cool spot, man. Grand Cayman's really cool if you ever had the chance to go. But traveling in the States too, I mean, have you done a lot of traveling like in the States? I mean, I've driven out west a bunch of times because I lived in Reno, and I actually would drive straight through myself. I mean, it'd be 20, I think, to Reno from here is a 28-hour drive. Yeah, that's a long drive in an F-250 by yourself. 210 miles to the tank at 90 miles an hour. You got to stop every freaking hour and a half, dude. But I've done a fair amount of road tripping, like nothing too crazy, but kind of been from all the way from east to west coast. Nothing, like I've been to Maine. And then I've been all the way to California. I've been to Texas and Florida, and all the main stuff. I mean, I've probably stayed in half the states, but anything cool you've experienced? Like, I haven't been to the Grand Canyon or anything.
I have not either.
But obviously been out to the mountains, Colorado, Nevada, California, but anything notable?
So the farthest west I've ever been is Mesa, Arizona.
Okay.
And I went there.
That's the farthest west you've been.
Yep.
No kidding.
Yep. freshman in college, I flew out there during spring break to see a good friend of mine who was at the Air Force Base out there. And that's actually when I got this really cool tattoo. Tattoo. But yeah, in Mesa, Arizona, and then I've been all the way to the East Coast, Boston, Cape Cod.
Mm-hmm. So, did you go to the potato chip factory?
Did not.
Yeah, Cape Cod. Yeah, so Cape Cod potato chips.
Oh
I'm sure
yeah,
you've seen
yeah.
But obviously,
yeah.
the factory's in Cape Cod, and when we were out in Maine, right? That's in Maine. Cape Cod's in Maine, right?
Cape Cod's in Massachusetts.
Okay,
yep.
So Massachusetts. I was there as well, but we actually toured that potato chip factory when we were there.
You want to know? I loved Cape Cod. I went with
Cool,
high school friends of mine. We were still in school. But that's funny that Cape Cod potato chips are made in Cape Cod because most places, like most names that have a name of a place, they're not made anywhere near. Like
Right.
Land O'Lakes butter.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Land O'Lakes butter's big up here.
it's big everywhere, dude. It's like the biggest butter brand.
Not made in Land O'Lakes.
No.
Which just pisses you off.
Yeah.
Does that not piss you
It
off?
kind of does. Yeah.
Every time I see, it's like, if you're going to around and call it Land O'Lakes butter, then it better be made in Land O'Lakes.
Yeah.
Or call it something else.
Yeah. Exactly. China butter.
Yeah, you don't get to just take our name. Not our name, but that town's name.
Yeah.
And
Which they might not even know they were taking the name. They might have been playing off of like the area that has a lot of lakes, Land O'Lakes.
well, somebody needs to call somebody
Yeah, we need to get some.
and let them know.
Yeah.
Either change your name or start making butter here. Not here. I say here, the whole Northwoods, but
We're about to hit the outro. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.
peace.
We're not even on the camera.
I'm still dancing.